In a historic first, the Supreme Court tackled same-sex marriage in oral arguments Tuesday. This landmark argument has been 3 years in the making. In May 2015, only 2 months after lawyer Jesus Falsis III passed the Philippine bar, he filed a petition seeking to legalize same-sex marriage in predominantly Catholic Philippines.
Anong karapatan ko? Equal protection, due process, and the right to marry.
Associate Justice Marvic Leonen says petitioners have the following issues to hurdle: justiciability, nature of right to marry, breach of the constitutional limits of equal protection, due process, and religious freedom. He also asks, is the timing for same-sex marriage right? Associate Justice Estela Perlas Bernabe asks, is the issue not a political question, and should it not be left to Congress? Falsis addresses Bernabe's questions and says, quote, while it may be desirable for Congress to enact law allowing same-sex marriage, fundamental rights cannot be subjected to political whims. Follow Rappler for updates. Several senators opposed the Supreme Court's final decision affirming the ouster of former Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. She was ousted through a quo warranto petition filed by Solicitor General Jose Calida. Voting 8-6, the High Court denies Sereno's motion for reconsideration. With the same vote in May, the SCN Bank granted the quo warranto petition to remove Sereno from office on the basis of an invalid appointment. SC spokesperson Theodore Tess says the motion is denied with finality. He says the 90-day period for filing the vacancy in the Office of Chief Justice starts today, June 19, 2018. Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon says the decision is a slippery slope as it opens the possibility for impeachable officials to be removed via the same petition. Opposition Senator Sonny Trillanes slams the SC decision, blaming President Rodrigo Duterte, and says he succeeded in destroying another bulwark of our democracy. Senator Joel Villanueva also criticizes the decision, saying the Senate has the sole responsibility in exacting accountability to judicial appointees or impeachable officers. Senator Jave Ejercito sides with the Supreme Court. He asserts that while Congress has the exclusive constitutional duty to impeach impeachable officials, we cannot correct a mistake with another mistake. Rather than interfere with the affairs of the judiciary, we are duty-bound to respect its decision. Solicitor General Jose Calida will hold on to his 60% share in a security firm owned by his family. The company bagged 261.31 million pesos in government contracts since he took office as the country's top lawyer. Calida says the law says that if conflict of interest arises, then you have two choices: resign or divest. I choose one. Calida was referring to Section 6 of the Code of Conduct of Public Officials, which states that if a conflict of interest arises, the official shall resign and or divest himself of his shareholdings or interest within 60 days from such assumption. He says the use of the word "or" gives him an option to choose only one. Calida resigned from Vigilant Investigative and Security Agency Incorporated or Vigilant in 2016. But the Rule 9 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of the Code of Conduct says that if certain conditions are met, divestment shall be mandatory for any official or employee, even if he has resigned from his position in any private business enterprise. The story of Philippine national hero Jose Rizal is now in manga, a distinct style of comics that originated in Japan. The 4-volume project on Rizal's life is a collaboration between manga artist Ryo Kono and writer Takehiro Matsui. The series is published by Toriko CCC. The manga will be available starting Rizal's birthday, June 19. A new chapter will then be released every Tuesday after that. A copy of the manga will be available both on www.manga.club or www.sukima.me. Rizal was among the prominent Filipino nationalists during the Spanish occupation and the country's national hero. He stayed in Japan for over 6 weeks in 1888 en route to Europe from the Philippines. Historian Ambeth Ocampo notes that in Japan, Rizal was a bit of an oddity. He says he had Asian features but wore Western clothes and spoke a Western language. Rizal stayed in Japan for 6 weeks but managed to learn enough Nihongo to express what he wanted. While in Japan, Rizal was in a brief relationship with a Japanese woman named Usui Seiko. In a letter to his family, Rizal says, "I have stayed here longer than I intended, for the country seems to me very interesting, and because in the future, we shall have much to do and deal with Japan." Rizal has a monument in Tokyo. Video gaming can be addictive in the same way as cocaine or gambling. The World Health Organization, or WHO, makes the announcement in an update of the International Classification of Diseases, a benchmark for diagnosis and health insurance. Online and offline gaming disorder is grouped with disorders due to substance use or addictive behaviors in the ICD's 11th edition. It's the first major revision in nearly 3 decades. Key symptoms include impaired control, notably the inability to stop playing, and focusing on the game to the exclusion of everything else. Symptomatic behavior must continue for at least a year. In extreme cases, gamers unable to pry themselves away from a screen drop out of school, lose jobs, and become cut off from family and non-gaming friends. Director of WHO's Department of Mental Health, Shekhar Saxena, says some 2.5 billion people, or 1 in 3 worldwide, play some form of game, but the disorder only affects a small minority. The games industry raked in $108 billion worldwide in 2017, more than double movie box office receipts. The inclusion of gaming disorder met with resistance, both from industry and some experts. President and CEO of the Entertainment Software Association, Michael Gallagher, says the WHO process lacks transparency, is deeply flawed, and lacks scientific support. 36 researchers who are about to publish their findings said there was insufficient evidence to warrant the new category.